Privyet, it's Influx, and welcome back to the Level 25 podcast. I am joined here by Doc. Doc, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Good. So, Doc, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am a dentist, which is why I chose the nickname Doc. I'm a dentist from Northridge, but I live in Simi Valley.
Mm.
My wife is Choco Cats, or sometimes on the Discord, you'll see her being referred to as Mrs. Doc. We have been playing Dr. Mario since 1991 when we were dating. We used to play on the old gray Game Boy, which I don't know if any of you were born when that was around,
I was
but
not.
but that's how we played. You had to each own the Game Boy. You had to own the game. You had to have something similar to like a USB cable that connected the games. And then you either needed four AA batteries or you bought like this hulking battery pack. So we would sit for hours just playing each other. And then we got married 2 years later.
That's awesome. You just got back from the tournament, the yearly live event. How did you enjoy it?
I was a little bit reluctant to go, but I'm happy that I went and I really had a great time. I loved the meetup at the bar on Friday nights. That was great. And, all day at the tournament and catching up with people who I only maybe know by a screen name
Mm-hmm.
and seeing them live in person was great. Everybody was so friendly and welcoming and warm, and it was just it's a great community to be in, the
What?
Dr. Mario community.
Why were you a bit reluctant?
I am not sure how the government could lock people down or no travel. The convention might
Oh,
be
yeah.
canceled. I didn't want to put the money out only to find like we can't have it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I was nervous
plane
about
trip
that
from
too.
California, hotel room, rental car,
Yeah.
all those things.
Well, fortunately, none of that came into play. It was able to go off without a hitch. So yeah, I was very thankful for that as well. I was a little nervous. I didn't actually buy a plane ticket, partially motivated by that. I didn't want to have to haggle for a refund or anything. But
Mm-hmm.
so you've been to
Uh,
events in the past, yes?
this is only my second live in-person event. I
Okay.
was in Portland in 2019.
Uh, and how do you think your experience with this particular event contrasted with the last one you went to?
Well, that's a tough question. Um,
Yeah, maybe
I,
like how I don't know if you noticed like any difference in attendance or how like just how the atmosphere felt or whatever.
well, compared to 2019, the Dr. Mario tournament was sort of tied in with the Tetris World Championship.
Yeah.
So I think there was a lot of there's a bigger crowd. The setup was a little more elaborate because they probably used it also for the Tetris.
Hmm.
But I thought the setup in Columbus was great. And being my second time at a tournament, Dr. Mario tournament, maybe more people were familiar with each other. So I thought it was a little bit better. I didn't know anybody really at the first tournament. I was a
Yeah.
virtual unknown.
Yeah. That's how it kind of felt for me this year. I mean, this was my first time attending the tournament, and I was really nervous going into it. I had never met anyone face to face, and I had just an absolutely wonderful time getting to meet you and everyone else. Get to talk about Dr. Mario and also the rest of life outside of Dr. Mario. Uh,
But I think you were, like part of the Discord and people were familiar with your style of play,
mm-hmm.
where I wasn't part of the Discord or anything before. I was just hoping um, a Dr. Mario tournament ever existed. And then when I think in 2018, I saw a video of one, I contacted the Tetris people to get me in touch with, how I might be able to sign up for
Oh wow,
2019.
yeah. So you were
So
truly unknown.
I was truly an unknown.
I'd love to talk about the matches that you played. In the qualifiers, how do you feel like those went? Where did you qualify out of the 32 spots available?
Um, I I think I qualified at 17.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Uh,
I could,
so that means you probably won four out of the five qualifying games that you
correct,
played. Yeah.
correct. I only tried two qualifiers, and you beat me in the second one.
No.
So I was not having gonna have a perfect record on that one. You beat me right away on the screens that
Yeah.
were
The
were
live
being
stream.
broadcasted to the the live stream that's being broadcasted to the entire world.
Oh
And
man.
then I think in the first qualifier I lost to Dave Smith sets, who's very good. So
Mm.
um, so yeah, I went 4-1. I guess if that was the score. I'm not a for playing wise. For me to win a one and done game is not easy for me. I
Hmm.
usually kind of feel out and may lose, and then I, you know, will get my game going.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the downsides of the qualifiers that you face each opponent for only one game, but at least we did get to play as many qualifiers as we wanted.
Right,
I was in
right.
the
I
same
mean,
boat. I
uh,
had tried to qualify two or three times, and I kept losing one match each time. And I was like, you know what? I got I think 13th for the qualifier rankings, and I was like, that's good enough for me.
maybe my goal for both of these tournaments was just get in and hopefully try to get to show my stuff.
Yeah. So round one, you were versing Glenn Tickle. Uh, I went back to watch the stream because I didn't get to watch much of that game. My game with Choco Cat went a very long time. It was a very close match, I'd say. But I noticed that in versus Glenn, you went down 2-0 at the start. Uh,
Correct.
how were you feeling then?
I was not feeling great. I I'm thinking in my mind I'm gonna get knocked out in the first round,
Yeah.
and I can't believe it.
So what kind of adjustments did you make? You mentioned that you like to get a feel for, your opponent. Were there any adjustments or?
Well, not really. I have played Glenn many times online, and I think we are very evenly matched.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of back and forth in the 2020 online tournament that they had. Glenn and I ended up being in a one and done elimination bracket. Winner moves on, loser um, watches the rest of the tournament, and he beat me.
Oh man.
So I'm familiar with Glenn only online. I just met him this weekend in person. The turnaround point after I lost the first two, someone in the crowd, and I think it was Betty B, he said, "Shake it off."
Hmm.
And it was nice to hear someone cheering for me. And that changed everything. And I just tried to relax and play my game.
I think
And
Betty
my
was
game with
just spreading positivity left and right at the event. Every
Yeah,
yeah,
so I
every
want to
time.
give her the shout out. She was great.
Hmm. For sure. I on the live stream, Sarah Sparkle was also cheering for the reverse sweep, uh, and we all know at the weekly checkups that she seems to be able to speak things into existence. So you might have to
Okay.
thank her later.
All
Um,
right. I mean, I was today at work. I just happened to have found, my match, and I was
mhm.
looking at the comments, but I had to get to work. So
uh, so round two, you ran into Packy, and I am calling this game the most important match of the tournament. It happened off stream. I talked to Bidwell, and he said he was kicking himself because your match versus Glenn had been broadcast for round one, so he didn't want to he wanted to show some more players' faces and not have you two times in a row. But in your game versus Packy, after I finished my round two match, I remember going over and there was a small crowd of people gathering, and we were all looking over at your screen from a distance. We didn't want to crowd you and throw anybody off, but you were up 2-1, and I'm curious how you got there.
It without, 'cause I didn't I really am a blank on the games.
Really?
All I like to think is if I get a chance to start setting off some combos and stun locking my opponent, I have a chance of winning. And I I'm I don't know. I know Packy's great. I have never played him ever in anything. I've
Oh
only
man.
seen his videos. So we've never played online. And I've never matched up with him live, but I know he's fast and he does a lot of combos. So I was just hoping I could hang with him and just play my game, and I was hoping to get lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't remember my games. Um, I take encouragement that I could hear him getting frustrated. That gave me some positive reinforcement. I don't even remember the order of which we won. I think I won the first one. He won the second one. I won the next one, and then on the fourth game, I think he finished. I know I barely beat him. I cleared my last virus, and he was just about to clear one. So our games were pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
then I hate to say, oh, go ahead.
were there any like early top outs from Packy in that, or was it
Oh,
just like down to the wire?
I don't believe we had any top outs. You might have to ask him, or I don't know if anybody. Oh, I saw somebody like videotaping some, maybe just to get some shots, but I don't believe anybody topped out. I topped out.
You
I would
topped
get
out.
topped out, but I don't think I'd ever topped out Packy. I had to beat him to the end.
Mm-hmm. So then the next two games, I mean, we uh, those of us who have seen Packy play before know that after he takes a loss or two, he starts to get pretty fired up and doesn't take it lightly. So when you were facing angry Packy, I guess uh, things just didn't quite go in your favor. Uh,
Packy is great, and that's why he's the three-time champion.
mm-hmm.
Um, I I hate to say probably in my game in game five a little bit distracted. You take a wrong turn, a misflip, and he'll take advantage of it. And before I knew it, I think I topped out.
Mm.
But you know, I I just hope that you know I people maybe were entertained. Like it was a good match.
Oh, I know we were
It, you know,
entertained. uh, Game Scout was the one who was had some video going of the match from a distance. I'm not sure how much detail he was able to cover, but uh, thank you for talking about it. I know that anyone who wasn't at the live event might not have gotten to know about this match, but you were the only one who was able to take two games off of Packy. So, by my completely unofficial record, I think you finished second at that tournament. Um,
well, that's quite a common. There's a lot of great players, so who knows? Packy's next opponent, which is Crimson, is someone I'm very familiar with
mm,
playing online, and she beats me all the time. So there's a transitive property in math that doesn't really apply to Dr. Mario.
that's true. That's very well
So,
put.
but it would have been a great match against Crimson where we go even head to head. But most of the time she's beating me in game five.
Mm. Well,
So,
of
and the tournament was anybody's, for grabs. Um, I in 2019 I lost to Heather. 2020 Snipe was in my pool, knocked me out, and then this one ran into Packy, got buzzsawed by Packy. I seem to run into former champions all the time in my draw.
Well, hopefully next year you'll run into a little bit better luck in your qualifiers and the early matchups. Packy, if you're listening, I hope that you don't get too discouraged by everyone cheering for the underdog. Congrats, of course, to your first place finish. You really earned it. And to Ibar for the actual second place finish, which uh, I don't. Surprised isn't the right word, but definitely unexpected. A newcomer, I believe, to.
I believe so too.
Yeah.
He joined, my little Virus Busters League this year. I feel like I've only seen him since August, and to be a finalist is amazing.
Yeah, for
His
sure.
game has gotten really great.
So, not to turn everything to all about me, but I later on also ran into Packy after seeing him knock you down and Crimson, as you mentioned, uh, two players who I think that I would have been hard fought to overcome head to head. I knew that if I stood a chance against Packy, I would need to do something a little different. And I kind of had decided long before the match that I was going to try to build an umbrella. And I'm just curious, you are very active in the Virus Buster League. Have you ever seen the umbrella strats employed there?
I would say, um, in my personal opinion, in my own opinion, if I were to use an umbrella strategy, it would be more towards the end than to start with it. If that's how you started yours.
Yes, yeah. Um, I think that I might have been uh, hoisted by the petard of my own hubris, uh, where I didn't really ask for much advice going before the match, and if I had heard something like that, I might have listened to it. But I was convinced that building an umbrella first play was going to pay off, and um, it could have gone better. It could have gone better. Uh, Talking to some people afterwards, that mindset seems to be shared that an umbrella later on is a lot more valuable than right at the very beginning. Uh, I was just curious if you'd seen it before because I've I don't spectate a lot of Versus, but I had not seen it. But I feel like it has some merit and is perhaps underutilized.
It does. It's frustrating. I had my brother-in-law use it on me. I am was a better player than him,
Mm-hmm.
and he used the umbrella, and combos does nothing
Yeah.
to slow him down, and it protects what he was trying to clear. We were playing handicap, but it was a frustrating strategy.
Mm.
I think, and this is just my personal opinion, is the first combos are the fastest, and try not to get, for me, too fancy and building too high and getting caught.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my theory against Packy. I should have, in game 5, just tried to drill down and clear and go fast and do doubles.
Yeah, if you're not comboing and you're just letting your opponent do their own thing, even if you have an umbrella to protect you, uh, you're not going to come out with the victory. And that's kind of what I saw in my round two for sure.
I
Um,
might think I might have thought trying to set up the umbrella would have taken too much time,
mm,
at the initial stage, and
yeah.
and Packers may have already cleared a bunch of viruses. I didn't know you were doing the umbrella. I thought your controller had broken.
Yes, many
Like
people
when you
thought
were
it.
having.
That just speaks of how poor the execution was, I suppose.
Well, I know you didn't want to turn it to you. I wanted to turn it to you and ask how your match against Mrs. Doc or Choco Cat felt,
Mm.
and that was round 1.
It was a struggle. I was hoping for a much easier round one match. Uh, I have never played versus against anyone before the championship itself. And I don't know if I had faced Choco Cat in the qualifiers, but I knew that she plays against you a lot and has a lot of practice. I was not looking forward to it. The match actually ended up being the longest round one of any. Uh, it went to a couple of games where I cleared out my last virus and she just had one or two left. It was so close. The final result was 3-1, but it felt a lot more of trading blows than that result seemed to reflect.
Well, we do practice a lot, and
Hmm.
we've been practicing for like 28 years.
Yeah. And we actually got some matches in after the event at the after party. Uh,
Yeah,
and
at the uh, hotel.
Yeah, in the hotel lobby. There was one game where she just utterly destroyed me. I had like 40 something viruses left when she cleared her last one. So, uh, she is definitely a very strong player, and I felt very fortunate. I was sweating bullets once the game started, and I felt very fortunate to come away with the victory. I think it could have gone either way.
I tell you, we both enjoyed meeting you at the bar
Mm.
and playing throughout the day. And she dreaded having to meet you in the first round. She would have rather had an unknown and run into you somewhere else. But like, we just met and we're pretty friendly, and now I gotta face each other.
That is perhaps the hardest thing about this event. You're so excited to like make new friends, and then you have to uh, fight them tooth and nail on the court of Dr. Mario.
And that's how I was against Glenn because we seem to have met up a lot, online, and that's the first matchup.
Hmm.
So,
Well,
but
now,
the whole tournament was so great. I mean, I wish, you know, we all could play each other somehow or do something, else and have some friendly matches and then not be so one and done.
yeah.
But I know time of the tournament has got to be single elimination and all that.
Well, I know that Bidwell is talking about wanting the event to be stretched out over the course of 2 days, which would allow for longer qualifying periods, perhaps some more friendlies matches, and
Hmm.
hopefully in the brackets, chances for more games to potentially show a more balanced result. Um, Maybe fewer upsets. I can't remember any upsets that particularly happened, but certainly over the course of more games, you'll see who's the more consistently better player.
Hmm. I agree. I think a lot of the middle games, it's a coin flip. You know, like Glenn could have taken me out no problem. So
Yeah.
that's just the way some of the middle games go.
Hmm. So now that the uh, 2021 Dr. Mario live event is over, uh, there still is a versus scene going on throughout the year in the Virus Buster League, which is something that you organize, yes?
That's correct.
So what is that exactly? I've never had the chance to get involved, but I know that it happens on the Switch, yes?
Yes. So the Virus Busters League started. Well, first, we're so happy to have, I mean, the pandemic caused us to have the online tournament, which caused me to have to buy a Switch to
Mm.
play in the tournament. Um, as we started playing on the Discord, there's a channel that says online matchmaking. So with the online matchmaking, I started playing with some consistent people like Spitball Sparky, Crimson, myself, my wife Choco Cat, and another guy V Money. So the five of us would play each other night after night after night. So I asked, hey, you guys want to just kind of start like a little league? We'll start with the five of us. And I would just manually keep track of wins and losses and crown count as that would be um, like a tiebreaker.
Hmm.
So gosh, I hope I'm not forgetting one other player. I feel like we had six going, but maybe we had five. We played. We did have five. Um, there was a playoff round at the end after 2 months of playing, and then we got okay. Let's start expanding it and ask people to play. So we've had 2 seasons. My goal of the Virus Busters League is it happens. It started May, June, July, and I called it the Weird Session with the yellow virus.
Hmm.
Currently, we're playing the Fever Session because it's summer, and I think that's the red virus. And then um, in February, March, April will be the chill session, and we'll see who signs up for that. So the idea is it's sort of like professional sports, like professional basketball or hockey this season. This session, there's 16 players. I divided them based on their time zone to one conference, and the other one is the East Coast Conference. I named them my conference, and the West Coast is called FISO, based off the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah.
And then the East Coast is called the Modernza. I didn't want to use the official name, so I just thought I'd make a little twist to them.
I thought that was so clever. I had a good chuckle when I saw those names.
And then where in this second session, Dimwit has been a big help with making a spreadsheet and keeping the results much easier than I was. I was doing it by hand and botching it up. So big shout out to Dimwit for helping me with that.
Yeah, thanks, Dimwit.
And we hope we hope this is a pickup. I don't know, what's in the future. I hope people are involved. I hate to turn people down. 16 players is a lot to kind of organize, but I would hate if someone had more. So I'm trying to come up with new ideas. So looking
Mm-hmm.
for things to do. Um, Upcoming for the Virus Busters League from November, December, January. Because of the holidays, I'm gonna have something, but it's not gonna be as serious. So keep an eye out for that, folks.
I will. Um,
Currently, we play level 14 on medium speed because there's a lag on playing over the internet with the Switch, and it
mm.
seems to work out fine.
So it sounds like space is kind of tight. Is it true that anyone who wants to join could, or perhaps is there a process that needs to be gone through?
Uh, you know, I it's a little bit first come first serve.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and can sign up. I'll start sign-ups for the February. I mean, for the you know uh, the chill, fever, and weird sessions are sort of, I think, that I would say the bigger ones. So we'll start the sign-ups like a month before. We'll need to talk with Dimwit about the November. I'm hoping to get everybody who wants to play in. We're only going to do one round of playing 2 matches per player, if this makes sense. And then from that, we're going to rank people up, and it'll be very similar to the live tournament we just had, where unfortunately one will play the last place player, two will play the second to the last, and they'll head towards a playoff finish.
Okay. So you'll need a Switch, and I guess keep an eye in the Discord if you're interested. Around January, you should expect the chill signups.
Um, for the chill, yes. If you look at the current Virus Busters League channel, and if you check the pin, which Dimwit was against excellent at doing a lot of this administrative, you'll see the pin with the rules, and they'll probably apply other than changing the names. But for the November, December, January Virus Buster League kind of tournament, it's not one of these bigger ones that we've been having.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll be more fun, free flow, and not as serious as I think or dream of the other three.
Well, I had such a great time playing Versus. I'd never gotten to try that mode out myself, mostly just a speedrunner, as I didn't have anyone to play against. But it was so much fun that I think I'm going to have to try to find a Switch so that I can join this Virus Busters League because I think
Please,
I'm about addicted.
please do. We would love to have you.
Well, Doc, thanks for joining me on the podcast. It's been a pleasure having you. Um,
I appreciate you asking me. It was a pleasure. It was my pleasure.
yeah. Until next time, in life and in Dr. Mario, bless RNG.